Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Foodies and Friends on Fox 26 and Fox Local. Y'all know we are in full steam Houston Restaurant Week's territory. And so, of course, we had to come to one of the crushers every year, one of the fan favorites, Chef Masa. We're here at Pacha Nikkei, an incredible one of my home spots that I come to often enough. Right here on the west side, Beltway 8 and Westheimer. We're at 10,001 Westheimer. Hi, Chef.
Hi, how are you?
It hasn't been a very long time since I've seen you.
Yeah.
Chef hosted an incredible Houston Restaurant Week's happy hour for us back in April, where we got to talk to a lot of the existing participants while welcoming some of the new participants. And you were one of the incredible chefs that talked and shared some of your experience. How was that?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was so good to see all chefs and restaurateurs and managers to come here, share their experience with Houston Restaurant Week.
Getting ready to dine out and do good in August.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a deal, and this is definitely one of those value-packed menus that y'all are definitely going to want to plan for. We only got the special ones for you in the preseason, y'all. Only got the crushers. All right, we've got a lot for you. Let's go right on over to the Foodie Cam here at Pacha Nikkei. Get ready for some Peruvian goodness, some Japanese goodness. This is the only Peruvian Japanese restaurant in Houston. Chef, what are we looking at?
So this dish is called arroz con mariscos. So it's a seafood rice. We make a broth for the rice, and then we use lobster heads and all kinds of seafood to make it very rich. We cook the rice almost kind of like a paella, but it's not as dry, or like it doesn't have the socarrat that the paella has, but also has it has cheese and butter, so it's a little bit creamier, kind of like a mix between a paella and a risotto, right? With a amarillo, and then we have all the seafood on top, which it comes with octopus, shrimp, clams, and mussels.
Yeah, very paella reminiscent, that nice big dish. Now, Chef, tell everybody what Pacha Nikkei is all about. When somebody finds out about your restaurant, what do you want them to feel when they come in, and what kind of food are they going to have?
So first thing, all of our staff is going to let you guys know what Pacha Nikkei is all about, right? Like Katie said, we're the only Peruvian Japanese restaurant in Houston. So it takes a lot of teaching, educate the customer what we're all about, but everything at the end, it comes about flavor and presentation to us, right? So I focus more on a lot of flavors, a lot of textures, a lot of levels. Right. Everything on our menu has Peruvian and Japanese ingredients. Right?
Now, what is the significance of that? Because many people may not know that those two cultures, it's a real thing.
Yeah. So I'm Japanese, born and raised in Peru. I'm fourth generation, so it dates back to early 1900s.
So Japanese culture in Peru, and kind of mixing everything. So it's been quite a while.
Yes. So from the early 1900s, the Japanese people that got there first started making their own dishes with Peruvian ingredients, Peruvian fish, and a lot changed, and a lot of the cuisine made progress, right? So now in Peru, Nikkei cuisine is part of a branch of the Peruvian gastronomy.
It's a real thing that people look forward to, and it's a real part of the culture.
Right.
You know, sometimes we like to make up types of cuisine here in Houston, which is fine, right? We're a very creative city, but this is one of those times where it is not made up, and it is a true cultural cuisine that people study and utilize for generations.
Like pretty much we pay tribute to my ancestors, right?
Your ancestors are actually on the wall behind us, right?
The one you can see right now, that's my cousin, that she was born in Peru. She's like fourth generation like me, but we have our murals that you can see. My great grandpa, that is the first one that came from Japan to Peru.
I love those photos, and I've never seen a chef do what you did. You blew up those big old photos, and it's the entire wall. It's so respectful, and it's very special, especially when you dine in that room. It's like you're dining with your ancestors and your family, which is why you're here.
I wanted to share pretty much my culture and my traditions with everybody that comes here.
I love that.
You can see the first, second, third, fourth generation of Japanese Peruvians.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, go right on back to the foodie cam. That is certainly a beautiful dish. What are we looking at, Chef?
So that one is a pollo saltado. Okay, we use chicken thighs, and we use the wok, so very high heat with veggies. You know, we got bell peppers in there, mushrooms, onions, served with potato wedges in the bottom. So we do it at high heat, very flavorful. It has a little hint of sweetness to it. And that one actually is going to be for our lunch special, like for Houston Restaurant Week.
So you'll be doing Houston Restaurant Week's lunch and
And
dinner.
yeah.
Let's go.
And then right next to it is a pisco sour, which is the Peruvian national cocktail, I would say, more that represents Peru. And yes, we use Peruvian pisco.
Yep. And so the pisco is found often in Peru.
Yeah, it's from it's like our national drink.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, so it's really good, and like I said, in that we're gonna do like a special menu for pairing for restaurants.
Well, and I want to mention that too, because you are a very talented chef. You know, you were the chef at Cata Robata. You've got a lot of really good restaurants that which I'm not mentioning the rest of them because I can't remember, but there's very good ones. And it's very clear that you are very talented and artistic in the kitchen. However, you guys, wait, it does not stop. Most of the time, chefs are only in the kitchen and they do the food menus. Not this guy. He does his entire drink program too. And I'm not a big drinker, but I have friends that are big drinkers. And they come in here and they say, your drinks are some of the best in the city. And I happen to think that that's pretty fascinating because you're not a som. You're not a bartender. You didn't go to school for that. You went to school for food, but you've got a knack for this stuff too. Yeah. Where did that come from?
Tasting a lot, drinking. No, but it's actually,
I drink a lot, Katie. That's it.
But I find it very interesting. Like, you know, at the end comes out about everything's about flavors, right? Sure. Flavors, textures, and everything else. So, you know, I got two great bartenders with me that I'm so lucky to have here at the restaurant. Yeah. And, you know, like I come out with an idea, we get all together, and I'm like, okay, we want this, and that, let's try it. And, you know, they put their experience in it, and I'll, you know, just put a little bit touches here and there, you know.
You want a bite?
Of course.
This sauce is really good. Yeah. The sauce is a little sweet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really good. Ooh. I think my son would like this too. Mm-hmm. It's tough to get my son to eat things with sauces, but I feel like he would be able to do because it's not spicy.
It's not spicy. It has a little hint of sweetness, like I was telling you.
Yeah. This is really good. And then this, I love this onion, and the peas, and I love how everything is like layered with the French fry. You know, so you get just the right amount of fried potato. Mm-hmm. All right. Back to the foodie cam we go. We're going to have fun today, y'all. That's just what happens when Chef Masa is around. What are we talking about here, Chef?
So here we have our lomo saltado, which is one of the top sellers, I think.
Your infamous lomo saltado. I hear about this lomo saltado all over town, Chef.
Thank you. So it's beef tenderloin that we cut in cubes with red onions and tomatoes, a sauce that is made with soy and oyster sauce. Mm-hmm. Oh. This dish is very influenced by the Chinese people that came to Peru.
Okay.
Right. But it was so popular that all the Peruvians adapted it, you know, and then now it's like one of the most famous Peruvian dishes that you can see besides, ceviche.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And ceviche is a big, strong one. You actually are an award-winning ceviche chef. Yes, for sure. And that's tough. And I love too, you also have another version of the lomo saltado where you put like a mac and cheese underneath it. And that's a special though, right?
Yeah, this is a different one. We actually put it permanently on the menu now because people keep asking about it. We do a bechamel with a amarillo creamy sauce, like cold huancaína. So it's the combination of both is really good.
And I happen to know that that's just a regular special. He has it every night for $25. And I know because it feeds me pretty often because I got to come in. And it truly is. It's, those are the dishes that we remember, right? Like the feeling that we get when we put all those ingredients together, and we're like, oh yeah, this is all supposed to go together really
Yes.
good. We know what chef is trying to do, and you do that very well
Thank you.
with these flavors. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I'm having a hard time not eating.
Please, have some.
I'm gonna eat.
It's your favorite dish.
It is my favorite dish. All right, let's go back on over to the foodie cam. Pacha Nikkei always has a very popular Houston Restaurant Weeks menu. We are previewing their lunch and dinner menu to give you guys some extra time to make your lists and where you're going to dine out and do good in August. All right, chef, what are we looking at?
So right here we have pan con chicharrón, which is a pork belly sandwich, traditional dish from Peru. Also, like actually that sandwich, a lot of people eat it for breakfast, and it's a big sandwich. Right?
Now talk about the bun a little bit, because that's not your average bun, I don't think.
So in Peru we have this bread. It's called French pan francés, which you translate is French bread, right? But not. You cannot find it easily here.
Oh.
So I had to go around and find something or talk to bakers to kind of make something similar to it that at least have the same texture and size of the sandwich.
Because the texture is, especially for a smaller sandwich, texture becomes one of the most important things, right?
And then this type of bread is kind of like a baguette, right? But in a roll. So you get that crunchiness of the bread with the pork that is very tender. And all the flavors inside.
And it was hard to find a baker around here in Houston.
Yes.
We got everything.
No, we do, but it's just like to find, the
right one.
Yeah. I went through so many.
You did.
Yeah.
Do you want to shout out who you finally found? Are they local or you're maybe moving? Or?
Actually, Phoenicia.
Phoenicia. We love Phoenicia. Shout out to Haig and everybody there. They, of course, also incredible Houston Restaurant Weeks participants and supporters. I love that. I mean, that really is, because, that's a family-owned business.
Yes.
That's Mama Arpy, the dad. They're all still working. They're like in their 90s
I
now.
love going over there because sometimes I find something, ingredients, and I'm like, oh, I can use this. And
I'll
take it with me.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, I love that, and I love the fact too that your family, it's you and your wife, you're operating the restaurant. I see Marie in here all the time in the front of the house, and I see you in the back. And all right, back to the foodie cam we go. We're here at Pacha Nikkei. You guys come out here for maybe a happy hour or a dinner. There's a chance you might see me here. I'm not going to admit to how often you might see me here. But they do have actually a pretty killer happy hour, if I do say so myself. All right, chef, what are we looking at?
So this is a chicken skewer. So we get the chicken, we marinate it 24 hours with some Peruvian peppers and vinegar and salt and pepper.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and we use chicken thighs, so it's not as dry with the breast. And then on top we make a Peruvian sauce called tari and bonito flakes on top. And
this is something that is lunch?
Yes,
dinner?
lunch.
Yeah, lunch.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about your happy hour just a little bit. It's from 5 to 7, Tuesday through Friday.
It's 5 to 6:30.
5 to 6:30.
5 to 6:30 Tuesday through Friday. And then on Sunday that we open at 12, we close at 4, so happy hour all day.
Happy hour all day.
Until 4. And then
that's a winning move.
Yeah.
Happy hour all day.
Yeah.
It's a party.
And on top of that, on Sundays, we get $2 East Coast oysters and $2 mimosas.
Yeah.
And then $30 sangria pitchers.
And we had some of those incredible oysters at the happy hour that you all hosted for Houston Restaurant Weeks. All right, tell me what this baby is, because this is beautiful. I got to show you guys the top. There's lots of really cool things in the top there.
So that is one of our cocktails called El Tunche, which is a mythological character from Peru in the jungle. So it has it has vodka, it has midori, which is Japanese lemon liqueur, coconut, and what you see on top it's dehydrated pineapple and gooseberry and a plantain leaf. Oh, and also has a plantain liqueur, banana liqueur.
This is a cocktail on another level, you guys, and there's so much taste going on here, but it's the right kind of taste. You can see how everything complements each other. This is an incredible cocktail, and I love sweet drinks that look beautiful, and this absolutely does it for sure.
Yeah, this is a really, if you're into sweet, go for that.
Dessert. All right, y'all. We've moved on over to the all-important sushi part of the show. Y'all do not just have lomo saltado. You don't just have ceviche. You don't just have incredible drinks, but you know a thing or two about sushi. Yes.
Yes.
Tell me what we're looking at.
So this one is our spicy salmon sushi roll.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We call it maki. And all of our sushi rolls, we apply the Japanese technique to them, but a lot of the flavors are Peruvian.
Now, what is the Japanese technique?
Like when we make the roll,
Okay.
the way we cook the sushi rice,
Okay.
when we slice the fish,
Mm-hmm.
and all those things have a technique to it.
So these are all techniques. So like the rolls with the rice on the outside,
Yes.
that's more of a traditional Japanese roll.
Right, or like that too, like with the
Yeah.
ones with the
rice on the inside, but the
or-
seaweed
Mhm.
on the outside. Now, this roll in particular is a roll I feel that sets you apart from a lot of
Thank you.
other spicy salmon rolls. And spicy salmon, right?
Yeah.
Spicy salmon. And that is the addition of
So we have the spicy salmon. Once we get the salmon, we put a lot of ingredients to it. Right? We put chopped onions, cilantro,
Mhm.
we use a little of salt, we use a lot of Peruvian peppers to
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
So it kind of turns out a little bit different.
It's a lot different. And not only is it different, it's completely changed this roll for me everywhere. So, spicy salmon for me is just not the same anymore because I know that I can get a spicy salmon roll with cilantro and onion and Peruvian spices, and I'm not getting that anywhere else. And this is a better version of the roll. Like you've made this roll so good and such a better version that's my standard now. This is what I talk to people about this roll all the time. It's such a small infusion,
Yeah.
but it's from what you know, and it's your culture, your roots.
Yeah, both like I said, both ingredients, right?
Yeah.
Japanese, Peruvian, they marry each other and
Make it better. I love it. Love it. And this is one of the items that you'll find on Pacha Nikkei's very popular happy hour menu too. So if you're, wanting to try this place for the first time, this is their half price, right? Like the rolls are basically they're $10.
Yeah,
so,
this is like $10.
Yeah.
For a happy hour. So
I mean, that's a great deal. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For this kind of quality sushi. All right, we've got more sushi. Yes, we do. Let's go back on over to the foodie cam. Take a look. I will keep that. I will happily eat that. Oh, and I will happily eat this. Chef, what are we looking at?
This one is one of our signature rolls. It's called picante roll, which is picante, means spicy. And on this one, we create a spicy tuna with a ají panca wasabi vinaigrette. The ají panca, it's a pepper from Peru.
Mhm.
We made a vinaigrette with the wasabi, and it's topped with crunchy chili garlic and micro cilantro. Most of our signature rolls, we actually make the sauce for the rolls,
Mhm.
so you don't need to actually dip it on soy sauce or wasabi.
So you're making like a custom sauce, and
For each
is
one,
that
different.
because you are creating a roll that you feel needs an appropriate sauce that
Yes.
nobody has made before?
Right, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I think like when we make a specific sauce for the roll, it complements the roll better than just soy sauce.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody automatically is like, oh yeah, sushi, soy sauce,
Right.
wasabi.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of other options, I think is kind of what you're trying to say too.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
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 And you can mix and match.
Yeah.
I know this is such a rookie amateur thing, but like the ginger dressing
Oh, yeah.
on when you go to a sushi restaurant and it's a little bit of sweet.
Yeah.
I like to mix that in with a little bit of soy sauce, and I like to use that. I don't know, it's just because it's just crushed ginger, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of
For ginger, yeah.
ooh. Oh, now what is this base? I know my producers will be.
Yeah, that's the sauce that I was telling you
This
about.
is the sauce, yeah.
That's a wasabi vinaigrette.
This
Ají panca wasabi vinaigrette. Yeah.
Well, you must really believe in this sauce because the entire dish is full of the sauce, right?
Yeah.
So it's meant to be drenched.
And I'll tell you, a lot of people, once they're finished with the roll, we go to take the dish out. they say keep. No, they want it.
They don't let you
No, they want to put it in something else.
because the sauce is so good.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're on to something good. You know that you found a little winning move there, is when people are like, no, you leave it on the table. That's how I am with my little ginger dressings too. Sometimes they're annoyed. Sometimes, oh, she's crazy. All right, let's go back to the foodie cam here at Pacha Nikkei so that I can take a nice big bite of this sauce. Ooh, and we were on to chef's specialties.
So these are ceviche clásico, or classic ceviche, made with Peruvian mahi mahi, sweet potato puree, Peruvian corn, cancha. Cancha is crunchy corn from Peru, and a garnish with red onions and micro cilantro.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing here in this ceviche is that the sweet potato puree is going to act as a cleanse palate.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Because the ceviche,
Kind of like ginger does for sushi. Yeah.
So the ceviche is salty and sour, right? So then between bites, you get a little bit of sweet potato,
Mm-hmm.
balance your palate, and you keep going.
And it also adds a nice little decoration and color. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know what? This dish, the ceviche, was very influenced by the Japanese people, because back in the day, they used to marinate the fish for a long time, right? They will put it with the leche de tigre, right? And they will leave it for hours or sometimes days. So what happens is that kills the fish, the texture of the fish. So when the Japanese people came in and they start seeing they're eating sashimi, right, raw, right away, fresh, it helped out the ceviche big time. And that's how we do it here. We make it by order, per order, serve it to you right away.
Yeah. And this is, I think when a diner looks at this dish of ceviche, for a lot of people, this is going to be the first type of ceviche that they're seeing like this, because we're all used to, the goblet, with the ceviche, and that's great. We all grew up with that. But there's other kinds of ceviche, and there's other ways to utilize the ingredients and arrange, and it's not always just a big mishmash of ingredients, right?
Yeah.
And this is something I've noticed is his particular style. He's also won awards too. Speaking of awards, back to the foodie cam, because this might be one of the award-winning dishes from Pacha Nikkei.
So that's our Nikkei ceviche. Okay, so it's with tuna. And the leche de tigre, which is the sauce, is made with ají amarillo and a lot of Japanese ingredients and Peruvian ingredients as well. Micro shiso, we have a dehydrated seaweed on top, seaweed salad actually, we dehydrated, and avocado puree and chorizo infused oil.
Chorizo infused oil.
Yeah.
Now, this is not the ceviche that has the sweet potato puree air bubbles. No, but that's a very cool dish that's also on your menu too. And that's always something that's interesting, because like you see on the menu, what do you mean there's sweet potato air?
Yeah.
But it is very cool. He puts a little layer of bubbles over.
We actually have that on the oysters. Whenever you come to get the oysters for happy hour, they have that is not sweet potato. We make it with leche de tigre. So it gives you a little tanginess to it.
I love it. And you're the only chef who I have seen who utilizes that method. And I think it's so smart, because it really is a very, like if you want a light and airy, I mean, what better than, I don't know, air? You get your point across, chef. All right, let's mention this sangria, because you guys have a couple of good sangrias here.
So we have a red one. We have the white one. And then this one is we call it La Diablada. I'm sorry, because it's a spice trick, and it's made with pisco.
So what's that on the outside there?
So we make, instead of just using tahini, we dehydrate our own Peruvian peppers, and we make our own Peruvian tahini.
Wow, you even make your own tahini. I don't know very many chefs that are doing this, and that's the thing, is you understand this, right? Like most chefs, they're in the kitchen, they're worrying about supply, they're worrying about, this guy's also making his own tahini, y'all. All right, if you haven't yet started making your list of where to go during Houston Restaurant Weeks 2025, please put this one on the list. Remember, menus go live on July 15th. Dine out and do good, y'all. 1 month away. See y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's go.